what's up, guys? Got another new video for you. This is Tuned In Sports. My name is Bryson.
I'm Bennett.
Bob.
Neil.
And today we are coming at you with the NFL Week 8 preview. I believe we're on Week 8 now. And
Neil. Oh, sorry.
we're coming at you with the Week 8 preview this week. Should be interesting to say the very least.
Yeah, for some teams.
Well, for some teams, that's for sure. Speaking of interesting teams, we're going to go ahead and start with the 1-5-1 Cincinnati Bungle.
You mean
Bengals.
Chuck the lead in the fourth quarter? I think that's a better name for the team.
Yeah, that's...
But, okay, this is going to be a rough game already, I'm telling you. Henry's going to be running it down our throats. I don't think we're stopping anybody. It's going to be dependent on if we can stop the run, which I don't see us doing, or if we can put enough points up on the board. And I also don't know if we'll be doing that either. So, see this as a loss. And unfortunately, we just became accustomed to losing this year. And I don't see that changing this week.
Yeah, I would echo that. I think the Bengals have been kind of a hard luck team. They've only had one game where they've lost by more than one score. They've been in the majority of the games. Unfortunately, Joe Burrow hasn't really gotten the taste of winning at this level yet. Not due to anything he's really done, because he's pretty much played about as well as you can. He's set to break all kinds of records for a rookie quarterback. And so, above all else, the team should be really happy with what they've seen from him. We knew about the defensive deficiencies from the very beginning of the season. I'm looking for the Bengals to maybe be doing something before the trade deadline to maybe help, either shore up the offensive line or, maybe get some defensive help.
Yeah.
So that they can do something moving forward. Obviously, this year's kind of a wash for them. I don't see them, winning much more than maybe 2 or 3 games at most, if they win at all. But once they start winning, I think it'll start happening a lot more.
Well, they still got every other team in the NFC least. So I think they could beat 1 or 2 of those teams at least. So we'll see that.
But, they also might have a situation where maybe if they keep on losing game after game after game, maybe they don't want to win, so they can get a higher draft pick.
Yeah, maybe.
That's the other side of this, is that, who knows what kind of a defensive player they could get in the draft or whatever. They're obviously not tanking for Trevor, but,
Take for his offensive lineman.
Yeah. But, offensive lineman, or, a defensive guy that's super good. Like I said, I think they're going to be active in the trade deadline. And they're really close to actually playing some pretty damn good football. And, it's unfortunate that they haven't been able to get any victories, outside of the one. But I think when they start winning, it's going to come in bunches for them, because, the offense is trending in the right direction. They got a lot of nice pieces. Defensively, we already knew it was going to be a mess. And they've got a bunch of malcontents on the defensive line, and so they got to do something about that. So I look at those guys as probably on their way out before the trade deadline, because I'm sure a guy like Atkins will have some value to somebody.
Yep.
So he'll send them to New England for a 7th rounder.
It doesn't help that we got a couple guys that we brought in free agency not even playing due to injuries. It's always nice. And you know what? We gotta get Dunlap the hell out of here. That guy has just turned into what would be the word for it? Like, toxic piece of crap. That shouldn't be on the team.
That about covers it.
Either one.
So get him
That
the hell
covers it.
out of here. I don't even care if we flipping gotta cut him. Just get him off the team.
Okay.
Yeah. This one, I just see it as you're going to have a ticked off Tennessee team after not playing that great except for the end of the game against the Steelers. Cincinnati's going to have their hands full, I think, with this one. Again, they're not playing the mid-pack, the lower-pack team. This is a division-leading team. Mm-hmm. And I think, even though they haven't played great, all the time with Tennessee, but they have the makings. When they're on, and it's not fun. So, and I kind of see that one going this way, where I think Tennessee's going to have their way with it. Mm-hmm. So, if you want me to get a pick, I'll go Tennessee. Take me to another W. Oh, there you go. So.
Yeah. I agree. I mean, as good as the Bengals have looked at times during the season, and as well as they've played against teams that really, maybe in some cases, they shouldn't have been in games with, that ain't happening this week. I think they're going to really struggle, and I see Tennessee winning by double digits. I think Derrick Henry's going to have a career day, especially when you got people on the defensive line that aren't necessarily hurt, but don't seem to want to play on top of people just being hurt. And yeah, I think this is going to be a learning curve this week, and it's going to be like, if it wasn't already clear enough where problems needed to be addressed, this game will show you. And, they can watch all the tape they want, but I don't think it's going to help. I think that they're going to lose. I think offensively, I would like to see them come out and play well offensively, because defensively it's just going to be a long night. But offensively, I think it would be very telling if they could come out and put some points on the board against a very, very solid Titans defense. I think that would be a great confidence booster, even if they lost.
Yeah, hopefully.
They will.
Yeah, hopefully we'll be getting William Jackson back this week. Mixon, I hope he'll be returning. Haven't necessarily heard anything on those two yet, but those are two of our bigger pieces, and they could be really useful for this game coming up this week.
Yeah.
So,
is the game in Cincinnati or?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. So,
it's in the Cowboys.
Ultimately, what I'm looking for in this game is just for us to play competitive, be in the game. Do I see it happening? I don't know. I mean, it's just kind of a toss-up, because it seems like some weeks they show up against teams that they shouldn't have, been in games with, and then other weeks
they look like
especially
against the
Ravens game. I can't really name a game outside of the Ravens that they weren't performing.
No, the Ravens was the only one.
They were in every game.
Yeah,
They've only lost one game by outside of double digits.
I don't necessarily think that they couldn't be in this game.
Right.
So
that's what I think.
Well, one thing that I will say, just to kind of wrap up, is that, if the Titans do what I think they're going to do, which is, run the ball and run the ball and run the ball and run the ball and run the ball, and you can't stop it, I think that's going to weigh down the scoring clock, and the game will go pretty fast. The clock will keep running, and so they'll dominate the time of possession. And with that being said, you get a couple stops here and there. I don't think you're going to get blown out, because they're going to primarily not be hitting you with 80-yard bombs and stuff. It's going to be 10 yards here, 5 yards here, 7 yards there.
Yeah, it's going to be more about wearing down the defense. That's mainly what their strategy is going to be, while running clock down and not letting Burrow on the field.
Yeah,
I can see them though using play action a
yeah,
little bit more.
Yeah, that's true.
And I think with their huge, big receivers now, I think they're up to 3 now, just tanks. I think they might be able to push that secondary around.
Yes.
Because, again, they're going to load up the box to stop the run. So I think this is a perfect time for the big guys to take those one-on-ones and just abuse the corners.
Yes.
So this could be, like I said, not pretty with it. But, for the positive part, just like you said, you're going to see who wants to be there, and you're going to show it on tape. And you have the trade deadline, so you want to see who's going to play in a game where you're going to get blown out probably. And you have every right to give up and not play. But it will show you who wants to be there and who doesn't want to be in the system.
Yes.
And then you can make decisions on that and tell which ones you want to trade and which ones you want to cut. And go, see you later.
Yep. The spread for this game is 5.5. But I think it would be higher except they're on the road. So, okay. Well,
but again, it's early in the week too, so I'm
sure,
that's
true.
I'm sure the money's going to crank up that. It's probably I would hope it would probably be somewhere around 8 or 9.
Well, one last comment I wanted to make in terms of what we were talking about with Burrow earlier. Last week, he became the first rookie in NFL history with at least 400 passing yards, 3 passing touchdowns, and a rushing touchdown in a single game. So, if he can come out and play like that this week, I could easily see us being in this game.
Yep. But unfortunately, I don't think he's going to.
You never know. I mean,
the weapons they have are not a joke. I mean, the offense they have is not.
Yeah, they'll score.
It's not going to be. Well, I mean, here I sit saying that, and they can get blown out. But in my opinion, it ain't going to be a question of them not being able to move the ball. They got all the weapons needed, and they're going to put some points on the board. Tennessee is. I mean, they're good, but
they're not Ravens defense.
They got deficiencies, and I mean, you put a little pressure on Tannehill, who knows what happens? But you got to stop the run, and that's gonna be
the do all tell all for this game.
But we'll see. I mean, again, I'm kind of rooting for the Bengals, so it sounds like it's I'm probably sounding like I'm on drugs talking about the Bengals performing well.
The key, stay off the drugs.
I just think I just think that the Bengals are constantly being undervalued when the reality of it is they've been in every game. They just haven't found the recipe to win yet. So, I mean, this team has lost every game outside of the blowout loss to the Ravens. It's been a one-score game in every game. So, they've been in them. They've had chances to win them, and they haven't been able to do it. So, like I said, I just feel like the time's coming where they're going to finally win one and knock somebody off. And then that's going to help kind of change what's going on there. So hopefully it'll be this week. I don't think so. I mean, these guys are probably right. It's probably going to be a 10 to 15 point game somewhere in there.
I hope not, but we'll see.
Rooting for the Bengals, double-digit loss. You heard it here. All right, next game. Colts versus Lions. What do you think, Bennett?
I don't know. Really, this one's kind of a pick-em for me. If the Lions come out and play like they have the last couple weeks, they could feasibly win this, I think. Mm-hmm. So, and it helps that they're at home, so I'm actually going to give the Lions the edge on this one and say they're going to win this one.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You're probably the only guy at this table that'll probably say that. Honestly.
No,
I actually kind of am in that camp myself. I think they definitely have a chance. I mean, Phillip Rivers to me hasn't looked good at all since getting to the Colts, and I think the Lions defense is playing a little bit better than what they had in previous weeks. At least the last couple weeks has been pretty solid. So. I mean, and like I said before, I've always thought that their offense has enough weapons to play with anybody, really. So,
yeah, and the Colts should have lost to us, but we gave it away.
No, I don't feel. I mean, Colts probably are a better team. I would agree with that. But I think Detroit can play with them, and I mean it's kind of a momentum thing right now with Detroit. I mean, they haven't won 2 games in a row, and who knows when. So
haven't they won 3?
No, this is 2.
No,
2.
If they win this week, it'll be 3. But I I mean, they were fortunate to win this past game. I realize that, but they still did it. And in typical Stafford way, they drove down the field and he stuffed it in. He's had, I think, I forget, he's had like one of the most comebacks. I mean, he's one of the leaders in comebacks or something. I don't know, but whatever. It doesn't matter anyway. But I think it'll be a good game. I'm not guaranteeing a Detroit victory, but I think it'll be a good game. And it could go either way. But I do like our chances against Phillip Rivers. I think his game is really kind of
deteriorated.
Yeah, he's not near the quarterback he was. So I think we have a chance. We can force him into a couple turnovers.
Yeah.
I'm really lucky I can stuff it in and come back.
Neil, well said, Neil.
I just couldn't help myself on that one. Yeah, this week, totally toss-up game. I think on this one. Again, at home, Lions, and then Colts. Yeah, like I said, it depends. I don't know wherever Phillip Rivers is going to shot put the ball, if it's going to be good or bad. Seems like this year he's definitely taken a step back even from the Chargers days with it. So again, like I said, I think this game's going to be up for grabs with it. The only edge I'm going to give, and that's the reason it's going to sway my pick, is I think Colts had a bye week last week. So I think that's the only reason I'm going to take the Colts. If it was probably head up and they played last week, because again, that gave me another week to look at the Colts to kind of say, well, what does this team have? I can't figure out what they've got right now, and it all depends on what Rivers does.
Yeah.
But is the week off, did that help him or did that hurt him? I don't know. But usually rest is better than playing for the most part. So I'm going to go with Colts, and I totally see why the Lions a 3-point swing between the two teams, because it's pretty close. I mean, I guess because Colts are on the road, it'd be a 6-point,
Right.
if it was on a neutral site. But I can see why it's close. You know what I mean? Because I think it's going to be, kind of like we said, whoever shows up is going to determine the game with it. And the only thing I'm going to take is just the week off.
Yeah. Yeah. I honestly don't know on this one. I think it's flip a coin. I think the Colts probably should win. I think the Colts maybe have the better team. One thing I did want to point out about the Colts is their injury report has 0 people on it. That must be nice. I wouldn't know what that's like.
Yeah,
he wouldn't know what that's like. None of it. Well, the Lions have 2. That's still pretty doable compared to some of the other people at this table. So that must be good for them. But I don't know. This is a really tough one. Like they said, Phillip Rivers is definitely not playing like Phillip Rivers of the past. And the Lions the last couple weeks have shown that their defense can pick off some people. They've gotten quite a few interceptions in the last couple of games. So I definitely think they could do it again this week. So I'll ride with the Lions. I'll take them this week. I wouldn't be surprised if they lost, but I'll pick them for this week. So, all right.
I'm on the island. Yeah.
Speaking of injuries, Broncos.
Speaking of on an island.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Broncos at home against the LA Chargers.
What can I say? We lost another defensive lineman for the season, so put another one on the board. We'll just keep rolling up those numbers as far as season-ending injuries for our team. Hopefully they don't, call any flea flickers with Melvin Gordon. Maybe they'll wipe that one out of the playbook this week. I'm not sure what Lindsey's status is. I know he's in the concussion protocol, so I probably wouldn't expect him this week.
Yeah.
But everything else, again, if they just don't do the same things they do every week, they might have a chance. If they play good defense like they always seem to do every week, just don't have the offense hang them out to dry, and then special teams actually play special teams. Might be good. Again, I think this game here is, you got to circle it as a must-win game for the Broncos, because if they don't, I think the season goes into the tank officially. Because again, if you still look at the losses that they do have, the 4, they're all division leaders. So we've had the Titans, we've had the Steelers, Buccaneers, and we got the Chiefs. So hey, what can you do? Chargers come in. I think they came in. They got a little banged up last week against the Jaguars. So they've got some injuries, but my buddy's back, I think, last week, and I don't think he went out, which is unfortunate, but I think Ingram came back last week, so he'll be terrorizing our backfield with our swinging gate, especially our right tackle. He'll be having a fun time going around him all day. And then I expect the rookie to put up some yards with it, but I don't know, like I said, this is a circling for a must win, so I got to go with the Broncos to save the season.
America agrees with you, 53%.
Well, they're drunk.
Take Denver. Yeah. Bennett?
I don't know. This is another pick 'em for me. Actually, I think this is going to be a close one. But, yeah, I'm going to go with the Broncos, actually, to save the season, like he said.
Yeah, it should be a good game, I think. The Chargers are one of those teams that's kind of underachieved thus far for what was forecasted for them. They have looked pretty decent here lately, but again, Denver's not going to be an easy place to go play right now. Especially it could be snowing or whatever, like it was this past week. I don't like LA's chances if that happens. You mix that with the the elevation, and you got problems, I think. But again, depends on who's able to play for Denver. I mean, there's only so much you can do, and only so much you can,
So many backups.
Yeah, there's only so many people that you can actually should be on the field. And with it, how many injuries they've had, we're probably getting to the point where they're using guys that shouldn't have been seeing the field. So, with that being said, they still are playing spirited defense. Like I said, and if the weather comes into play at all, which who knows, in that area could, again, it might be helpful for them. But I look forward to be a pretty close game, though. I can see it coming down to a field goal one way or the other.
Who's winning?
I'll go with the Broncos this time. I think they got a chance. And like Don said, it's kind of a must-win game. And if depends on how much they like the coach. If they don't like the coach, then they just say, "Fuck it, we're losing."
Yeah, like I said, I know they've been throwing out some stats and some really weird things since 1994. I think this is the first time that they've started 0-3 at home or some weird stuff like that. And guess who was the head coach? Wade Phillips, right? So I think, again, I can't repeat this enough, is that I think Vic, love the guy, but he needs to be a D coordinator. That's all he needs to do. We need to rip Bieniemy off the Chiefs and put him as a head coach. And I think that's exactly what we need to do. Hell or high water, even if we turn this season around, we need to do a Caldwell to him and just say, you know what, we're not going to fire you, though. We're just going to, move you down to the D coordinator. We're gonna let somebody else come in here and run the show on the offensive side.
Yeah, Bill O'Brien.
With it, yeah.
No, he's waiting for the call. He's waiting for the call.
Hey, he works cheap.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, with it. But again, that's what I think with it as well. It's just I don't think Vic has the chops for the head job. He's like a cookie cutter of Wade.
Yeah.
And I think that's where he needs to be. But but like I said, this season, any coach it's tough to press up to do what he's been doing with the injury situation.
Right. It's not really a fair assessment of his abilities.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he's working with a shell of the team every week, pretty much. Yeah. I picked the Broncos last week, and well, that didn't exactly work out. But You know what? I'm going with the Broncos again this week, even though I think the Chargers is going to be a very tough opponent. However, like I said last week, Denver's got really good defense. This is a must-win game, and I think, personally, I think that Herbert is going to come down to earth a little bit this week. I think Denver's going to get to him a handful of times. I think they're going to be in the backfield with him quite a bit throughout the game, make him feel uncomfortable. I think they're going to force a couple of turnovers. And I think it's going to be just a decent game for Herbert today. On this day. I think they're going to cause some discomfort with him, and I think this is going to be one of his lesser games. Even if the Chargers win this game, I still think this is going to be one of his worst games. And, comparing to how he's done so far, one of his worst games, that's not saying he's going to come out here and lay an egg. He's played really well pretty much in every game. So
he's not going to look like Lock. So
yeah, So yeah, exactly. He might have a Jeff Driscoll performance this week. No, I really think though that
late flat, you'll be fine.
I really do think though that he's going to struggle this week. I think Denver is going to win this game. Like he said, some crazy stat about the last time that they've lost this many games at home. I don't see it happening again this week. I think the Chargers have promise, but they're not there yet. Must win for Denver. They're going to win this week. So I believe that's a 4-0 sweep for the Broncos this week. So yeah, I almost took the Chargers just for that reason.
We just lost.
Yeah, they're buffed.
Yep, they're done.
We just gave them a
good game nonetheless, though. I think it'll be
it'll be entertaining. It'll be
it's another divisional game, so always good.
Question's gonna be what mistake is special teams gonna make this week? We've had the bumbled snap in the end zone, the safety.
We're due for a good. we almost did it last week, but we're due good for a good muff fumble punt.
Something.
We're good. We're about ready for one of those.
Yeah. So hopefully Denver can pull off the victory. We'll see. They are at home. Okay. Last but certainly least, the Dallas Cowboys taking on the Philadelphia Eagles.
Have they flexed this out yet?
As far as I know, it's still set for the Sunday night game. Come hell or high water, they seem to be set on putting the Eagles in prime time. And the Cowboys, for that matter. I think this is the second or third time we've seen them in a primetime game. So, yikes. Much like Ezekiel Elliott's haircut, this one's going to be wild. And
looks like a Mickey Mouse game.
Yeah. What an idiot.
Ohio State. Oh, wait, did I say that?
Never. So, yeah. Are we going to watch the tape this week? We'll see. I think Dallas's defensive line definitely doesn't look very good. Dallas's defense in general doesn't look very good. We need, and I'm going to say this now, and I'm going to come down there and say this to the team if I don't see it happening. We need to target Jalen Smith. That guy is a liability on defense on their end. He's not very good at playing the ball. And he's been a pretty big letdown for the team this season.
Sounds perfect for our team.
We need to, whoever is he's guarding, we need to attack right then, right there on Jalen Smith. He's a corner, I believe. So whoever he's guarding, that should be our number one receiver. Now, with that being said,
get Arcega-Whiteside involved.
Oh no! If Arcega-Whiteside,
give him at least one catch.
If Arcega-Whiteside can have a reception for 8 yards, we're winning this game. No, seriously. If it's anybody other than Arcega-Whiteside that Jalen Smith is guarding, which it should be, We need to go after him all game long. I'm not even kidding on that. If you guys watch the tape, Eagles, if you watch the tape, you'll see go after him. And we're going to do just fine, especially if he's guarding Travis Fulgham. Shoot, it's going to be a long day, actually a long night, and then a long, night sleeping for him. So I'm going to say that we're going to win. Now, I've sat here before and said, wow, Cowboys don't look very good this year. We look like we've got a little bit of promise. We've been playing better. This should be an easy win. I said that exact same thing last year, and we got absolutely pummeled the first time that we played them. Now, keep in mind, that was in Dallas, and a little bit different situation. They didn't have a backup quarterback, some other things. They didn't have a first-year coach, stuff like that. But this is a much different Dallas team. They've really been struggling, on top of the fact that Andy Dalton may not even be playing this game. So if he doesn't, we're going to be going against, I can't remember what his name is, Demoni or Dinamoni or something like that. It starts with a D. I never heard of him. But anyways, especially if we're against that guy, I mean, anything other than what Washington did to them last week is really just unacceptable. And I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, the coach has totally lost the team on the Cowboys end of things. To the point where the players aren't even, responding to guys getting roughed up by another team and didn't come to his aid. I mean, he might as well, been out there by himself. And that just speaks volumes to where this locker room is and the lack of discipline and whatever you want to say, whatever goes with that. I think Mike McCarthy is short-lived for as a coach there. I don't think he survives the whole season. I'll be surprised if he does. With that being said, I think Jerry Jones is as much the problem as anybody else is on the team. But I just see the Cowboys being a complete mess right now. Ezekiel Elliott just has no confidence in his abilities or himself right now. But, with the offensive line playing the way it is, why would he? You're just taking a beating. And, the quarterbacks are, getting hurt. I think what this does show me is how good Dak Prescott actually is in the numbers he was putting up previously before getting out of there. Because, it looks like two totally different teams on offense with him and then what, Numbnuts last week was able to provide.
Yeah, no kidding.
I've been an Andy Dalton fan. I think he's a very good quarterback. But, man, they look like crap when he's back there. And I'm not saying it's all on him. Again, I think half the team would care less about playing. If they couldn't play, they wouldn't. If they had the option of not playing, they probably would say, I'm not playing. And that's a tough position to be in for the coach because, Jerry Jones isn't the easiest guy probably to put up with. I still think he's probably calling plays from the box, honestly.
Yeah, he's pulling Al Davis.
Yeah, I see it. And I just don't. And if I'm Mike McCarthy, this isn't what I signed up for, but he hasn't gotten anything accomplished. He's gotten absolutely nothing out of this team. And it wasn't like they were void of talent. They were supposed to be good, possibly like a Super Bowl contending good. And, the fact that, they've got, 2 wins they've had this year?
2 wins, yeah.
One of them was the Atlanta game.
Yeah. One of them was Atlanta, and the other one was the Giants.
Yeah.
And both of them, they barely won.
With that being said, I just feel, I don't usually feel bad for Cowboy fans because I'm not a Cowboys fan, but I can feel your pain and what you're going through. It's horrible. And the saddest part of that is that if you win this game, you're right back in the division hunt. if they beat the Eagles.
No, if they win this game, they're in first place, actually.
Yeah. Well, whatever. I mean, there's a long season ahead, but
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I mean, the Eagles have been anything but impressive to me. They've looked better the last few weeks for sure. But there's still a lot of problems there, mostly due to injuries. But I would think the Eagles have a real good chance to win this game. I just think Dallas, the coach has lost the team. And I just don't see them rebounding from that. You got a bunch of guys that don't want to play and don't want to be there. Good luck. You're not gonna tell somebody that's making more than you are, hey, go make that tackle. Yeah. You're gonna say, guess what? We'll see you on the unemployment line.
Either that or I won't be on this team next year anyways. I'm going somewhere else. So
yeah, if you got that type of scenario taking place, which it does look like to me, I would have never thought that this scenario was going to take place, considering, McCarthy came in there with some credentials, pretty well-respected coach, when he was at Green Bay and had a lot of success. But, man, what a shocker. It's been complete, it's been just a total mess since he's got there. And I feel bad for him. In a way, he's probably a lot to blame as well. But man, this guy walked into a fucking hornet's nest. That's just horrible.
Smells like the circus came to town.
Yeah, exactly. Unfortunately, whether you like the Cowboys or you don't, it's like, what do you say to that? Nobody's gonna prevail in that type of situation. They're getting beat by teams they should be manhandling. And it's just, I don't know. We'll talk about, talent, having the talent and not getting anything for it. And there's a perfect example of it right there. So, sorry to bear the bad news, Cowboy fans, but I see the Eagles winning this game as well.
Yeah, I got Eagles winning. Cowboys are having QB injury problems. Players aren't listening to the coach pretty much, or taking in his message at all. I'm sure. Yeah, and the Eagles they've been looking a lot better than the Cowboys have. I'll say that much.
There's absolutely no respect on the team right now.
Nope.
They're not showing the coach any respect. And, they're not even showing guys within the locker room respect. For what's his name to take a hit like that and have nobody come to his aid, and go fucking tackle the guy that did it or whatever, do something, to just sit there and say, oh, well, let me help you up. That wouldn't have happened when Bill Parcells was the coach. That would not have happened. There would have been a goddamn brawl on the field. And that just tells you all you need to know about, where this team is at right now. Yep. Nobody really cares. They don't care about what's going on. Hell, they don't even look like they care if they win or not. It's like they're going through the motions. Like they're tanking for Trevor. And who knows? Maybe that's what they're doing.
Exactly.
Everybody talks about Dak. Well, hell, who knows if he's coming back?
Yeah.
And if he does, there's no guarantees his ankle corrects itself perfectly or whatever was wrong with him.
Yep.
But, man, oh, man, I look at this and, I shake my head. For them to be this bad is just not – I didn't see it coming. Not this. I didn't expect them to get to a Super Bowl. I would have never dreamt that one. But I definitely didn't see this.
Yep.
Yeah, the Cowboys are pretty much they're at the point just like me. I'm giving up. I'm done.
Yeah. Enough said.
No. Just like the show. I'm out of here. No, it's only it's evident that they just I don't know what ever since they carted off Dak. I don't know. They turned off the lights. No one's home. They're just going through motions and not even going through motions at some point. If you really want to see how not to block as a running back, there should be some video of Ezekiel Elliott trying to pick up a blitz in this game. Beautiful. How to get destroyed in about 2 seconds and let him, the guy walks right to the quarterback right after. I mean, he just blew him up. And that just kind of tells you where the attitude's at. It's just like, just get me out of here and get me off. They don't even want to be here. So
now they got a third string quarterback probably coming in.
So now
week.
they're gonna be looking out for themselves because they're gonna be selfish, which totally understandable. They're gonna be trying to save their contract or save themselves for the next contract somewhere else. It's just really bad. I mean, this is a typical game that everything's lining right up for the Eagles, and they'll be like the Broncos and they'll blow it. No. Everything's set up for you. Here it is. Just all you got to do is, you can't do that. No. No, but if everything goes true to course, stays the course, but the Eagles should win this one handily.
Yeah. It's going to come down to Arcega-Whiteside. Can he get one reception for 9 yards?
Yeah.
I mean, he's the difference maker. They
throw a screen pass. He'll be fine.
They keep on saying he's the difference maker.
Shovel pass could be working too. Shovel pass.
Yep.
That way, if he drops it, it's incomplete.
Yeah. Tell you what.
I mean, if you ask me, I wouldn't have thought at the beginning of this season, if you were going to say who's going to be fired first, Matt Patricia or McCarthy.
Yeah.
I mean, there wasn't anybody who would have said McCarthy.
Yeah.
But the way things are going, I literally do not see him making it past week 8 if they lose it some more. I mean, it's at that point where I don't think, and I honestly, this would be the one time I actually would be in Jerry Jones's corner to an extent. Only in that, because this is not going to be fixable at that point. He's lost the trust of everybody there. So whether he's the problem or whatever, something's got to be done. And I think,
Well, this has a total rebuild.
Right.
Written all over it.
Yeah. And, this is why they didn't sign Dak to this contract.
Well, no, that's the reason I thought it was a smart move because, again, they're already – just imagine if they had Dak's contract on the books. If they had a Deshaun Watson number or a Mahomes number on their books, how bad would this organization really be in if that was the case?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, again, at least they have a chance, and that's the reason I think they're going to do it is – they're just going to totally just dump salary and do whatever they can, and they're just going to they're not winning anyway, so might as well go rebuild
fully.
And maybe they are tanking for Trevor at this point.
Yeah, you know what I mean? That wouldn't surprise me at this point.
No.
I wouldn't put it past them that this is what they need, and guess how do you fire up the fan base again? Oh, let's get together. Be like Aikman, right? How do they? Oh, Aikman. Oh, you know what I mean?
Yep.
And this is how you do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Yeah.
I know nothing.
I really, I think the Cowboys, they're just a circus right now. It smells like a circus. It is a circus. They perform like it's a circus. And honestly, there's just a bunch of guys on the team that just, what's going on with them? During the offseason even, like last year, I feel like they really underperformed last year. I thought last year they had a lot of talent on the team and they underperformed. This year, they only added to that. They got
underperforming?
They got, that too. But, they got Everson Griffin from the Vikings. I thought that was a great piece. They were talking about the defensive line of the Cowboys being probably one of the better ones in football coming into this year. They got CeeDee Lamb. Everyone was losing their minds over that one. I personally was kind of frustrated. I was hoping he would fall to us. Didn't work out that way. We ended up with another guy that's sitting on the injured reserve list the entire season since game. Actually, I don't think he's played yet. No, actually, he did play one game, I think. Anyways.
He fits right into the organization.
Yeah, no, exactly. He's a perfect match.
He's doing exactly what he needs to do.
I see why they picked him because, CeeDee Lamb's played every game. We can't have that.
No, exactly.
We can't have that consistency.
No.
We want consistently having to be replaced by somebody else.
Yeah,
so they had a lot of good things going into the season, and it's just been a mess. And then, like he said, once Dak went out, Motel 6 closed. They stopped leaving the light on. I mean, they just, what reason do we have to play? There's really nothing. We don't even know who the quarterback is this week. And, here comes Andy Dalton getting absolutely plowed by somebody. But, whatever. That could have been us. Good thing it wasn't. Best of luck to you. It's just horrible. But with that being said, I said last week that if the Eagles were to lose to the Giants, I don't know what I was going to do. If we lose this game, I've said that a couple of times, but this game especially, with the frickin' just jungle of bull crap going on in Dallas right now, if we lose this game, I might not do the show next week. I might not do it. I might just let them do it because I will literally not have a single nice thing to say, and that's putting it nicely. So
we get to do it.
Yeah. No, I'm not even kidding. I don't think I'd be able to do the show next week if we lose this week.
Yeah, so if they lose then. Just
yeah, and watch that.
No whammies, big bucks, no whammies.
Watch that be the spark that Dallas needs.
Exactly.
Now all of a sudden they have something to play for. They can shut me up. Man, Whiteside show up. Get your one catch. Everybody else, do what you've been doing. Wentz, just don't turn the ball over. Attack Jalen Smith throughout. And, the biggest thing is just attack him on defense. And by attack, I don't mean put Jalen Hurts in the game and have him try to throw the ball back to Wentz so that they can do some crazy thing and lose yards. I mean, just go out and do it. But with that being said, let's not sit here and act like you have a good offensive line. So I don't want to see, all of this, we've got all day to throw. We're playing against Dallas. Woohoo! Just standing back there. You're going to get rammed if you do that. And, there's a lot of solid players on the defensive line that just have disappeared since the season started, and I do not want to be the team that they finally show up against. And that could very easily happen if Wentz just sits there and is like, okay, we're playing Dallas. Let's check through all the different routes. Oh, okay. Oh, wow, look at the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders over there. Wow, holy shoot. I need to switch teams. All right, who am I throwing it to? You're not going to have that much time. It's going to be a long day if he decides to do that. But we're going to win this week. And I truly believe that we're going to get things figured out. And we definitely need to do that. But either way, we have a bye week next week. So if we do lose this week, I'm going to need that bye week. I am definitely going to need it. So, all right, guys. Well, any final thoughts on anything? Nope.
I was going to say, just hopefully Broncos play, not Bronco football, but like we did before. Just do what you need to do to get the win. And then I guess above everything was Ron Rivera was able to ring the bell for cancer diagnosis is being cleared. So that's, I think, the best news of the day for the week for that in my book. So
amen.
So kudos to Riverboat. So.
Yep.
Not to mention he's got his team competing.
Yeah, and he's got cancer.
Oh yeah. He's
Yeah.
got those guys playing though.
Yeah. No, as I said,
they're not out of the division.
That's what you need, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's all you can ask for from your head coach with it.
Yeah.
What needs to get done.
Yep.
Hopefully we won't get blown out this week. That's all I'm hoping.
Okay. That being said, let's
yeah.
put some wraps on this.
Yeah, no, yeah. There's nothing else to say for me, so.
I'm Bob.
I'm Neil.
Bryson.
I'm
Neil and
Phil.
Bob.
Just playing. I'm back.
I'm Phil. And we'll see you guys in the next video.